actually happening. So good to talk with all of you on YouTube this evening. It's good to get back to doing some live broadcasts. I apologize that we did not have a produced procedure video last week, and if you caught the live video on Friday, you found out why that is. It's because there's been a shift in emphasis on what I've been doing with video, and that is working towards the Madison Woman show, which will be a web series. The Kickstarter for that will start sometime either this weekend or early next week. I don't have the date yet. I actually need to do a little research about when the ideal time is to put that out. So this, though, is not talking about that. This is talking about Dr. Green Knight's post on his blog, which there's a link in the description. Today's was about sacrificing patient satisfaction for quality measures. And Dr. Green Knight, Dr. Gwang, wrote about how overall he sees it as a good thing in the long run, although he has concerns in the short term. His concerns come from the fact that he has very, very good patient satisfaction scores. And we actually, the way that medical economics works these days, doctors in certain programs get paid according to incentives rather than having increases or raises based on increasing their contracts with the insurance companies for the actual services. So they're paying for results, not just for work. And of course, the thought is that if we get results, if patients are healthier, that's a better value than just working. In the old days, people would do all sorts of things for patients and go ahead and charge the insurance companies for it. That wasn't necessarily in the patient's best interest. Just ordering labs for the sake of ordering labs, ordering imaging for the sake of ordering imaging, that's not necessarily making patients better. So I'd like to hear what you think. At this point in the stream, I have 0 people viewing, and so I think that there is something wrong with the feed going out, even though it says that we're live and have been for a couple minutes. So if you're watching this after the fact, it's going to be awkward compared to the live streams where we have an immediate connection, and I'm not 100% sure why that's occurring. This happened before where all of a sudden the numbers just go way up. So let me actually take a moment here during the live portion of this and just see if I can find an explanation for where everybody is. I don't see it. Not sure what the best option would be here. So I'll go ahead and give the material for the people who watch this after the fact. Dr. Green Knight in his post, and you can again click on the link, talks about how doctors get these incentive payments instead of increased payments for their contracts with the insurance companies. And he would get them for customer satisfaction or patient satisfaction, which of course we want our patients to be satisfied. And a portion of that has been moved from patient satisfaction over to performance in quality measures. And he mentions what some of those are. It's maintaining blood pressure below numbers that it should be below. Hemoglobin A1C numbers, that's how we measure somebody's blood sugar over time who has diabetes and needs to have it controlled. Another one is screening for colorectal cancer. These are things that help patients. These are things that keep patients from having strokes and heart attacks and colon cancer down the line and allow them to go on living and not having to go to hospital or go to the emergency department. So they're very important things that we want to have patients benefit from. But patients don't always want to do. They don't want to take a pill. They don't want to. And so we need to work with them. I believe that patient satisfaction will be achieved by doing this with putting the patient first. These goals for them, of course, are important in populations, obviously. But with an individual, you want to do it in a way that works for them. You don't want to just absent-mindedly prescribe pills to a person who would be just ready to make lifestyle changes, start exercising, start eating like the DASH eating plan to help lower their blood pressure. You don't want to use the wrong medicine when you do use medicine, something that causes side effects or messes up their electrolytes or has interactions with other medicines. And you want to, have a conversation with the patient, taking into account their priorities and getting across to them so they understand your blood pressure's out of control for whatever reason, lifestyle changes haven't made the difference or won't make the difference in your case because you're already living a healthy lifestyle. Uh, it's appropriate to do such and such action to bring your blood pressure down. Let's together do that, get back together, recheck what your blood pressure is, and know that by getting the numbers down, we are decreasing your chance of having premature heart attack or stroke because people are having them in the 140s as far as systolic blood pressures. Of course, we're trying to get people down below 130 for their upper number, the systolic, and under 80 for the diastolic or the lower number. And especially for people with diabetes or kidney disease, we especially want to get them down below those numbers. We make it a little more important. Or people who, when we test them, we have a little calculator we run. In fact, you can look it up on the web if you want by looking for AHA for American Heart Association or ACC risk calculator. And I always recommend getting the one from the ACC. I like that one better. And you can see that when you look at the web address for the results that come up, clicking on it. And you can actually put in your own numbers. You'll need to know your blood pressure, for some of them you have to know both HDL cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. Some of them you just need to know HDL cholesterol, total cholesterol, excuse me. And with those numbers, oh, and did I say blood pressure already? With those numbers and filling in some other questions, it calculates an estimated risk for having a heart attack or stroke in the next 10 years. And if that number's over 10%, then it's actually recommended that you would, if lifestyle changes aren't doing it, that you'd use medicine to get your systolic under 130 and your diastolic under 80. And these recommendations are based on studies that find that people have a less chance of having a heart attack or stroke by doing that. So it's a good thing to do. And one of the concerns is, well, what's the downside to the medicine? Well, potentially being over-medicated, and with blood pressure pills, that would be becoming, like lightheaded when you first stand up would be the most likely problem if you were over-medicated with blood pressure medicine. And if that were to happen, we warn people this could happen, and it may actually happen in an appropriate situation for a couple weeks where we have to tell somebody, really take it easy when you first get up, when you're walking around. Be aware that medicines, your body's getting used to it and it could have a problem. As long as we get over it, everything's cool. But if it's more than that, more of a problem, we need to re-look at what we're doing with the medicine. I also wanted to make an announcement about the Madison Woman show. There's a link in the description, so you can click to go to the website, which is just madisonwoman.com. Madison spelled M-A-D-I-C-I-N-E, Madison Woman. We also have the Madison Woman Facebook page, and Madison Woman is now on Twitter. So if you want to follow what we're doing there, go ahead and do that. We talked a little bit, the other producers and myself, about what we're going to put on Kickstarter when it's out next week. Things that you guys might want. Things like if we can get enough people to commit to it, that we would actually put on a screening at a local theater and take whoever picks that reward, them and their guest, to dinner with us before the screening, and then go watch the screening. There'll also be reward level for including dessert after, in addition to the dinner. That's the new one that they came up with tonight. We also have down at the $100 level, people can get their name in the credits, actually have your name in the credits of Madison Woman, the pilot. And this is just for the pilot at this time. Season 1 would be a whole different project if we have success with this. Another one would be executive producer credit. And if you're going to get executive producer credit on this, you're going to be investing in it. It's $2,500. So there's a couple of those available if somebody wants to do those. Again, you can find those all by going through madisonwoman.com. And of course, you can sign up for the email. In fact, even if you don't plan on giving any money toward it, please do sign up for the email newsletter so you can follow our progress by checking out the blog, madisonwoman.com. And if you're not already subscribed to Dr. Green Knight's blog, drgreenknight.com. Now, I apologize that I have not been interacting with people watching live, and the reason is because I have no feedback on this particular stream of anybody being out there. So that's some kind of a weird thing with the way the YouTube app is working. And what we'll do is look into that, try to find out why, and go ahead and comment after the fact if for some reason you didn't get an announcement about the video. And that's probably, let me see if there's somewhere in the settings that I can change to make this I'm hearing that people can watch it. So it must be up live. I'm not sure why YouTube is not giving it to everybody. They usually do. But even though you're on, oh, go ahead and make a comment. Hey, go ahead and do a super chat. Okay, so now it says there's one. Is that you? Well, go ahead and do a comment. We'll see if there's a comment. I'm sorry for those of you who are watching this after the fact. This, you probably don't want to watch all this housekeeping stuff with the technical side. But I will be looking at the comments after the fact, because I'm sure that there will be, and we'll make sure that this does get up, because we did talk pretty good about or spoke well about the Dr. Green Knight post that was up today. All right, so I see no comments showing up on the screen. What? Okay, she's not logged in. So until next time, Dr. Mark Vaughan telling all of you to stay in good health.